The prairie hums with the first true warmth of spring. Snow has melted into the earth. Wildflowers push through the soil, and the air smells of damp grass and new beginnings. It's a season of hope, and in Walnut Grove, hope arrives on dusty boots and a weary smile. His name is Mr. Foster. He doesn't come with fanfare or a wagon full of goods. He walks into town alone, carrying nothing but a small satchel and eyes that have seen too much. He's thin, sunburned, and moves with the careful slowness of a man who's been walking for a long time, not just across miles, but through grief. At first, the townspeople are wary. Strangers are rare on the prairie, and rarer still are those who arrive with no story, no trade, no reason to stay. Harriet Olson watches him from her mercantile window and mutters, "Trouble walks like that." But Charles Ingalls sees something else. He sees the way Mr. Foster's hands tremble when he asks for work, the way he avoids eye contact, not from shame, but from exhaustion, the way he flinches at loud noises, like a man who's been startled one too many times. So Charles hires him, not out of pity, but out of instinct. "We could use help mending fences," he says simply. "If you're willing," Mr. Foster nods. "I'm willing." What no one knows, not yet, is that Mr. Foster wasn't always a drifter. Once, he was the Great Lorenzo, a star of the Sullivan Brothers Circus, the man who walked the high wire without a net, who made children gasp and adults hold their breath. He traveled the country in a painted wagon, his life a whirl of sawdust, spotlights, and applause. But then, the accident, a snapped rope, a fall, a broken leg that never healed right, and worse, the loss of his wife, Clara, who waited for him in their tiny trailer while he recovered, and died of fever before he could get back to her. Overnight, the circus, his family, his purpose, his joy, became a place of unbearable pain. So he left, not just the circus, but his name, his past, his very identity. He became Mr. Foster, a man with no history, no home, no hope. Now, he works quietly on the Ingalls farm. He mends fences. He splits wood. He eats his meals alone on the porch. He speaks only when spoken to. But Laura watches him. She sees the way his eyes linger on the birds flying high above the fields, as if remembering the sky beneath his feet. She sees how his hands move with a kind of grace, even when shoveling manure. And one day she finds him carving a small wooden bird, its wings outstretched as if ready to soar. "Did you make that?" she asks. He startles, then nods. "Just passing time. It's beautiful," Laura says. "Like it wants to fly." For the first time, Mr. Foster smiles. Not a big smile, just a soft lifting of the corners of his mouth. "Everything wants to fly, child. Even broken things." But the past isn't done with him. One afternoon, the distant sound of a calliope drifts over the hills. A gasp runs through town. The Sullivan Brothers Circus is coming. Tents rise on the edge of Walnut Grove. Wagons roll in. Elephants trumpet. Children shriek with joy. And in the middle of it all stands Mr. Sullivan, the ringmaster, loud, proud, and looking for his missing star. He spots Mr. Foster immediately. "Lorenzo!" he cries, striding over. "There you are. We've been searching for months. The crowd asks for you every night." Mr. Foster freezes. "I'm not Lorenzo anymore." "Nonsense." Sullivan claps him on the back. "You're the heart of the show. Come back, one performance, for old time's sake." The offer hangs in the air like a trapeze. That night, Mr. Foster sits by the creek, staring at the water. Laura finds him there. "Are you going back?" she asks. He doesn't answer right away. Then, "I don't know if I can. The wire, it's not just about balance. It's about trust. And I don't trust myself anymore." Laura sits beside him. "Maybe you don't have to do it alone." The next day, the whole town gathers under the big top. Even Caroline and Mary come, though Mary can't hear the music or the crowd. She feels the vibrations in the ground, sees the wonder on Laura's face and smiles, and then the moment arrives. The spotlight finds Mr. Foster, no longer in rags, But in his old costume, patched but proud, the wire stretches high above the sawdust ring. The crowd holds its breath. He climbs. Step by step, he ascends the ladder. His leg trembles. His hands sweat. Below, he sees Charles nodding, Caroline praying, Laura beaming, even Harriet Olson leaning forward in her seat, eyes wide, and then he steps onto the wire. For a moment, he wobbles. The crowd gasps. But then he finds his center. He walks, not with the flashy tricks of his youth, but with a quiet dignity that's even more breathtaking. He doesn't need to flip or spin. He just flies, and when he reaches the other side, the tent erupts, not just in applause, but in love. Afterward, Mr. Sullivan offers him his old place back. Full salary, a new wagon, a fresh start, but Mr. Foster shakes his head. "Thank you," he says. "But my place isn't under the big top anymore." He looks at the Ingalls family, standing together in the crowd. "My place is here, now." Circus Man might seem like a simple story. A lost performer finds his way back. But beneath the sawdust and spotlights, it's one of Little House's most profound meditations on belonging. In 1870s America, drifters were often seen as outcasts, men with no roots, no value, no story worth telling. But Michael Landon, who wrote this episode, dared to say, "Every life has dignity. Every heart longs for home. And sometimes, home isn't a place you're born into. It's a place that chooses you." The actor who played Mr. Foster, Denver Pyle, best known as Uncle Jesse in The Dukes of Hazzard, brings a weathered tenderness to the role that makes Lorenzo's journey feel achingly real. His pain isn't loud. It's in the way he holds his coffee cup, the way he looks at the sky, the way he finally lets himself be seen, and Melissa Gilbert, as Laura, embodies a truth we all need sometimes. The most powerful thing you can offer someone isn't a solution. It's the quiet certainty that they matter here. Today, this story echoes louder than ever. In a world of displacement, loneliness, and digital isolation, Circus Man whispers a radical truth. You don't have to be perfect to belong. You just have to be willing to show up and let others hold you when you wobble. So, if this journey moved you, if you've ever felt like a stranger in your own life, or offered a home to someone who'd lost theirs, I'd be honored to hear your story. Drop a comment below. Who gave you a place to land when you thought you'd fall forever? If this 59-minute storytelling of Circus Man touched your heart, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to SG Top Celebrities, and hit the bell so you never miss another story that heals, teaches, and reminds us that everyone deserves a soft place to land. Thank you for walking this path of grace with Mr. Foster and the Ingalls family. As Ma would say, home isn't where you're from. It's where they know your name and love you anyway. Until next time, be someone's soft place to land. The world is full of people learning to fly.